Welcome back to Feel Better with Lauren. I'm Lauren. Thanks for joining me. A couple of days ago, I posted a video about taking a little bit of time off. I was doing some promo for the show, but I also wanted to see how my body would be if I didn't do this for a couple of weeks. And I thought, oh, I'll come back here and I'll report how it all feels, how my brain feels, and my body feels, and all that. But there's nothing really to report. It is as you would expect it to be. If you're here, you're probably already doing things that are good for yourself. And you know that when you eat well, you feel better. When you sleep well, you feel better. And when you do exercise, you feel better. And if you do these videos, then you'll also feel better. I think we've all just got to make this decision of what do we want to do with ourselves for the rest of our life. And that doesn't mean to say that we can't let it slide and take a time off here and do things that maybe aren't the best for ourselves. But I think fundamentally you need to decide that you want to feel better. I want to. I hope you do. Let's keep feeling better together. In my videos, we don't isolate different parts of our body each day. You generally do a little bit of everything, but some things are a little bit more focused each day, and I try to vary them up so that you're not working exactly the same thing all the time. And I think that helps your body and your mind and just fatigue in general, and also just challenging yourself to do these poses and do these poses as sort of cleanly as possible. And that's sort of what as you become better and better, the poses become crisper and cleaner and more precise. Today, we're just going to start from a standing position, and I sort of want to go almost moving in slow motion today, really following our breath in and out. It takes about 3 to 5 seconds to breathe in and 3 to 5 seconds to breathe out, and everything we're going to be moving like we're moving in slow motion. But let's start just sort of a little bit off to one side, with our hands sort of at our side, and let's just sort of move around, almost like the wind's blowing us around. Nobody can see you doing this. It's just you and me, and I can't see you. And just sort of move back and forth. You can let your hands sort of hit your sides, sort of feel, and when you move like this, you can sort of feel what parts of your body resist a little bit. Like I can feel my knee on my right side just sort of tugs a little bit more. I can feel that my neck sort of locks a little bit. So just move back and forth. Nobody can see you. Have everything moving. We're not thinking about our breath right now. We're just moving around. Maybe move your knees. Have a little itch. Okay, now that you've sort of checked in with yourself a little bit, let's sort of just calm back down. Let yourself naturally stop moving. And stand with your feet sort of shoulder width apart, with the palms of your hands facing forward, nice and tall, as if there's a string that's holding the top of your head and just sort of lifting you up. And we're going to do as we always do, is breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth and really fill up our entire body. Feel it going up your legs and your arms and into your head. Breathing with your diaphragm, yes, as you do, but also breathing with everything. So in through your nose and then push all that air out through your mouth. We'll do that 3 times. And your last breath. That sort of gives you a whole bunch of fresh oxygen. That slow breath will sort of calm you straight down. Now, let's go into that prayer position to start off with our wrists onto our sternum and about the same height as our elbows, creating a sort of real symmetrical feel. Just breathing in and out through your nose. Nice and slow. Now breathe in and interlace your hands. And breathe out. Push your hands all the way from you. Separate your shoulder blades. Push and reach the other side of the room if you can. And just keep breathing through your nose. Now, on your next inhale, we're going to go up to the ceiling. Put your hands all the way back. Put your hips forward and get some sun on your face, sun on your chest. You can feel everything stretching. And then on your next inhale, release your hands and put your hands out to the side. Big inhale, and then exhale. Hug yourself. One arm goes below, your left arm goes below, and you're going to hold onto your shoulders. And each sort of breath in and out, you sort of get a tighter hold on yourself. Now, if you wanted to here and your elbows were together, you could start into the top half of eagle, which is with your elbows together and twisted around. You can feel a stretch on your shoulders. And then on your next inhale in, your left arm is going to go straight out, and your right arm is just going to pull your ear to your right shoulder. And you're going to make these little tiny circles with your left hand. Now reverse direction, and put your hand a little bit on your edge and just sort of smell your armpit, your right armpit, as you reverse, as you go backward circles. Now your next inhale in, both hands onto the back of your head. And you're not pulling your head down, you're just giving light sort of traction so you can sort of stretch out your upper back and stretch out your neck. And then your next breath, your hands go wide again. Big breath, and you're going to put your arms the other way and give yourself a big hug. And each sort of breath in, you make some space, and then each breath out, you get into that space. And you may want to bend your arms and just sort of get that tension of the top half of what's supposed called eagle. Now inhale in, your right arm goes out, and your left arm just gently pulls your head to your ear to your left shoulder, and you make some circles with your right arm. Now inhale and sort of smell your left armpit and have the circles going the other way. Now inhale, both your hands go, and You can feel that light traction on our head and stretching at our neck a little bit. I'm not forcing my head, I'm just sort of reminding where I want my head to go. Now, in your next inhale, your hands go above your head. Interlace your hands the other way, but the opposite. You can tell because it feels a little bit weird. And back to that big stretch overhead. Next inhale, and exhale. Interlace your hands behind you. Get some sun on your face there. Now, inhale, you're going to keep your hands where they are, and you're going to slowly bend over and let your hands fall above your head. When you have your hands like this, it becomes you sort of make it into a seal pose, anything you do. So that's straightening of the arms. So we're going to fall into a forward fold. And keep your legs as straight as you can. And let your arms fall over. Now, next inhale in, you're going to release your hands, but you don't want them to fall. So slowly bring them down into the normal forward fold. And you're going to inhale to a halfway lift, a 90-degree angle with your back and your legs, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, and exhale to forward fold. Now crouch all the way down to tiny ball, and then inhale super slowly. Your hands go all the way up, gradually above your head, and then down to that prayer position again. Just take a second, see what's moving. Just keep everything should be, all those joints should be moving. If you don't want to be locking anything, and if you feel like you're locking anything, just sort of focus and consciously move it around. If you feel like your shoulders are tensed up to your ears, pull them up high and then just release them down. So now, with a big inhale in, your left foot is going to come over and we're going to go into warrior two. So moving like in slow motion. So inhale, and then exhale, your left leg goes over to a 45-degree, a 90-degree right on your hand. Your front toes turned in a little bit, your butt tucked in behind, as wide as you can, and your arms forward, your hips nice and open, looking out over your left arm. And just keep your shoulders relaxed and your chest wide open. Next inhale in, you're going to interlace your hands and we're going to seal, do a warrior seal, which is to fall forward and have your arms over top. You may be able to go more or less than this. last inhale in. And we're going to move up to a Shiva squat. So your feet may come in a little bit. Your toes are out at a 45-degree angle. And you're sitting down. Your knees are in a good solid position. I'm going to come in a little bit more. Your back and your hips are open still. Your hands can come above you. Or you can go into what's called horse pose, which is like hugging a tree and riding a horse. And sometimes I find this takes a little bit of mind over matter. You can feel this tension on your legs. If you need to come up a little bit, you can do that. And if you feel you can sit down a little bit more into this. When you inhale in, you're going to go up and turn your toes in a little bit and do a forward fold here, a straddle fold. Relax your back. And then you're going to inhale, come up halfway, and exhale. Inhale halfway up, and exhale, relax down. And inhale, rotate your front leg into a warrior two, facing the other way. Your arms straight out, your hips open again, standing strong, looking out over your middle finger if you can. Nice and open chest, your hips tucked underneath. And squat into that front leg if you can. Now inhale, interlace your hands the other way from before, and we're going to do that seal warrior on this side. Feels different on this side for me. And then you're going to inhale, come up. And then you're going to come back and put your right leg beside the other way, facing that end of the mat. You can just take a second here to recalibrate and get everything straight. Keep breathing through your nose. Maybe this is not stressful to you. Maybe this is a bit of work for you. For me, it is. Now I'm going to inhale, my hands over my head again, my hips kicked out. And then I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to sink into a squat. Nice and slow down. This used to be a hard pose for me, and now it's become a really relaxing pose. My triceps just gently push out my knees a little bit. You can roll out your wrists for a moment if you'd like. Keep your back nice and straight. Now you're going to inhale, put your hands in front of you, and we're going to walk forward on our hands and slowly go up to a downward dog. We'll just get that nice straight line from our wrists to our elbows, to our shoulders, to our hips. I do find I need to pedal out a little bit, again, like you're in slow motion. Once you feel everything lined up, take a moment there and get into your downward dog. Again, the straightness is the most important part. So bend your knees if you have to, and then straighten to where it feels comfortable. Now, on our next inhale, we're going to move forward and do an upward dog. Let our hips drop down, like in slow motion. And then you're going to move forward to a push-up. Keep your elbows tucked to your ribs. And push up to a plank. And slowly back to downward dog. Now your right leg can go to the air. Inhale up on your left toes. Bring your right leg to your chest, and you're going to fold it into pigeon. Now, if your knees are great, you can put your leg right out. My knees aren't great, so you can tuck them back in. If you want to put a block, you can put it under your hip here. Keep yourself straight and stretched in front. You might want to go up on your fingers. Keep your butt flexed. Keep everything going calm, breathing in and out through your nose. And you're going to inhale in and slowly fall forward if you can. Or even just down a little bit. I'm going to go do my forearms for sleeping pigeon. Maybe you can go less, maybe you can go more than me. Next inhale, slowly push up. Fall over onto that right hip. Let's pull our left leg coming around to what's called cow face. Now, the goal here is to try to line up your knees. And some people are great at it, and I'm not. But we're going for a sensation. Keep your feet flexed, and don't strain anything. Keeping your feet flexed keeps your knees lined up, and then you can just gently lean forward. And you'll feel that stretch in your hips. Your next inhale, you're going to sit up, and you're going to put both feet in front of you. And I'm going to keep mine bent. If you're already there flex-wise, I'm going to touch my toes, and I'm going to just sit back and do a forward fold. So I'm going to hinge. So if my form is right, I'm sort of keeping my back straight and hinging at my hips and falling forward onto my legs. And last breath in. Put your feet back into cross-legged just so you can roll over top. Your legs go back to a downward dog. Nice and straight here. And we're going to do that wave, that super slow motion wave again. So inhale up to an upward dog on our toes. And then forward to that push-up, up to plank, and back to downward dog. And then our left leg goes up on our right toes, and our left leg falls open for pigeon on the other side. Again, keep your leg flexed. Keep protecting your knee. I'm going to go up on my fingers. Keep your butt flexed. Don't scrunch your shoulders to your ears. So you're in that edge that I keep on talking about. You're sort of getting towards that feeling of comfort and discomfort, but you're never pushing it too far. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. And last breath in. And then fall forward if you can and if you're feeling it to sleeping pigeon. And one more big breath in. Push yourself up. Lean to your left a little bit. Bring your right leg around and we'll do cow face on the other side. Again, the goal is to try to line up your knees as best you can and then folding forward. Maybe you can do this all the way. Maybe you're just into cross-legged. Next, inhale in and put your legs forward. And this time, instead of a fold, we'll do a little butterfly here. So the closer you put your heels on butterfly, the more intense it is. Keep your back straight. Maybe you need to have your heels right forward, and that's okay. Maybe it's somewhere, maybe your heels are right folded tight, or maybe they're somewhere in between. I'm sort of somewhere in between. Again, form seems to be more important than being able to push things. So nice and straight up. And then just fold forward into this. Some of you out there will be able to go all the way down. Some of you may just be sitting, which is staff pose. And last breath in. Come up and we'll cross our legs again. Go forward. Your feet go back. And we're back to downward dog again. And we'll do that wave once more. So inhale. Drop your hips all the way down. Upward dog. Forward to that push-up. Up to plank. And back to downward dog. Now from here, You can jump or float, or you can walk like I am. And we'll go back to reverse tabletop. Our feet and our hands facing the same direction. Push up. Your head can go relax back or forward. This is where I like mine. Dig in with your heels. Keep breathing through your nose. Last breath in. And exhale. Put your hips down by your heels. And inhale, get some sun on your chest. And exhale, sink back as far as you can. Inhale, get some sun on your chest. Exhale as far as you can. One last time. Inhale. And then inhale, reach all the way forward and come back onto your back slowly. Grab your feet if you can. Grab behind your legs if you want, on your shins. You can just hold your legs together. I'm going to go to happy baby and just sort of gently let my hips fall open. You can move side to side a little bit if that feels good on your back. I want to close your eyes. Put your right leg over your left. Reach through that whole figure four. Pull, lean a little bit to the left. Keep your feet flexed to protect your knees again. Just squeeze your knee to your chest. Where it doesn't matter how far up it is, you're just getting that sensation of on your right hip. And as we're here, we're just going to roll exactly how we are. Still in that figure four. If you can, push your knee away and stretch out the other side. And last inhale in. Bring your knees up to your chest. Squeeze them nice and tight and get everything lined up again. And your left leg over your right knee. You got that figure four. Grab through that hole or behind your thigh or just grab onto your foot. Lean a little bit to your right. And pull your right knee right into your chest as much as you can. And keep your feet engaged so that your knee stays lined up. And just sort of feel that stretch onto your left hip. Keep breathing through your nose and don't tense up your head at all. Take a last breath in, and then we're going to just lean over on our right side. Our feet are going to stay in that figure four position. Our left arm is going to go straight out, and our right hand is just going to push away just very gently on our knee, just to give that extra sensation and stretch on our left hip. And keep breathing in and out through your nose, and just keep relaxed. There's no tension here. You can keep your eyes closed if you'd like now. And breathing in and out through your nose. Now bring your knees back up to your chest. Squeeze them in tight just to line up your spine. And then put your feet down flat on the floor. and your hands beside your heels. We're going to push up out of our heels, engage our butt, and grab onto our hands underneath of us into bridge pose. And we're going to keep all our head nice and loose. We're going to have a nice bit of space between our chin and our chest. Nothing's tense here, but everything's engaged in our body. Just pushing up and feeling that in our core. And keep breathing through your nose. Raise up high in your toes as high as you can, your hands above your head, and slowly, 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 we're going to lower our back down one vertebrae at a time, our back going flat against the mat, right down to the bottom, and just flat there. And one more, pulling our knees to our chest, nice to stretch everything out and line everything back up. And then our feet go to the four corners of our mat or our area for a corpse's pose. Our feet fall open. Our breathing sort of returns to whatever normal is for you. We tuck our shoulder blades underneath our chest, underneath our back, and our hands open and facing the ceiling. And just sort of sit here and keep breathing and relax. And we'll see you in the next video.
Always talk to your healthcare professional before starting a new regime. If you experience pain, discomfort, or dizziness, slow down or stop. These videos will become easier each day, but if it doesn't feel right today, go slower or move to another video. Listen to your body.